All right, while setup is going, we do have a few donations to go over. We have $15 from Tim Parsh. It says, "Hey guys, keep up the great work. I love every second of this year's SGDQ. Greetings from Germany." We have $50 from Smidley, who says, "You guys are awesome. Thanks for a great first SGDQ and doing it for such a good cause. See y'all on the finish line." Timothy Stone donated $20 and says, "Shoutouts to SGDQ. Just tuning in and excited for some sick runs. Donation going to Link to the Past 100%. Gotta get in for that Super Metroid bag. Good luck on runs all." Jeremy Horton donated $50 and says, "First time donating after watching AGDQ and SGDQ only on YouTube, but I'm glad to finally be properly donating. You are all amazing in both skill at the games and especially just what this event is raising money for. So go ahead and take my money."
Got a couple more donations. We'll try to get in here before the race starts up. I've got $106.08. Maybe that number means something. From Mrs. Cab. "Sir Cab, wield thy blade to victory. Love, Mrs. Cab." Daw. I've got $5 from DJ Radix, who also says, "Hey, Mr. Cab, everyone says you're the guy, but I want to be the guy too." I've got $50 from Rob D. "This has been an amazing GDQ so far. Enjoying every minute of it. Been loving the music in between sessions. Keep it up. Tech crew is on their game." Agreed, absolutely. "So pumped for the Mega Man block. Caleb is the man." I got a $5 donation from Sir VG. What's up, Sir VG? Sir VG here, wishing Satoryu good luck on the race. Also, acknowledge canon, save the animals, just like my shirt says. Yo, I got $50 from Fafa. "Hi everyone, thank you for putting all your efforts for such a great cause, especially the behind the scenes crew working all week to make this happen. But of course, we cannot forget the runners and the games to make this a memorable event. putting this $50 for Area 51. I got $50 also from Shadlone, who simply says, best event ever. And once again, we've got two back-to-back Mega Man X races here, so we probably won't be reading a lot of donation comments throughout here, but make sure to still put them in. We still have a ton of games coming up for the rest of the week, so keep getting your donations in, guys. Thank you very much for your generosity. Already over $280,000.
They're not going to pick you up. It's just going to be us guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, MrCab and PND here. He is running the X route. Everybody else is running the 0 route.
Yeah, me and Cap will be doing 0 route. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so as usual, we get to start with the intro stage and extra special loading because we're on the PS2 versus the PC, unfortunately. But we're going to have a fun time with this. Actually get the text and find out that we can actually use 2 characters at once rather than just X or 0. And we also have the addition of Axel this time. Mostly what we're going for is try and get a 2-cycle instead of a 3-cycle out of this boss. And let's see here. PND got it. And Satoryu and Cab, all of you got it. Okay, now we're forced to use each individual character in order. Axel's first. And they're trying to show us all the special things they can do. We really don't care. We're just trying to get through this as fast as possible.
Yeah, each stage in the game has rooms like this where you're forced to fight an onslaught of enemies for a few seconds at a time. The only real way to speed them up is just to make sure the last set of enemies that spawn die as fast as possible. Otherwise, their only other purpose is just to get more money. The higher your score, the more money you get. The money isn't too big a deal for this run.
And this is the one of the big changes is the team attack.
Yeah.
One of the few times we'll get to see it in this run.
There's a bar on the left of your health bars that fills up as you hit enemies, and when it's full, you can call in your partner to, as Axel will say, work together.
Unfortunately, it's much slower than doing regular damage, so we end up not using it at all. I think there's one instance the X route uses it, and that is it.
Zero, can you hear me?
And you also see that when one person is dead, like if X is dead, and they fill up the meter, then it revives them.
Yeah, there's that red meter. When they take damage, they can swap out with their partner and gain life as soon as they kill something or a little bit over time. And this is the first and last time we'll hear Isla. Fortunately, we can select no navigator throughout the entire game, so we only have to hear this one time in the intro. This boss is pretty automatic, so we can probably fit in a donation or two.
Yeah, I'm actually going to, oh, sorry. We're actually going to take the time just to remind you guys that during this entire Mega Man X block from X8 to X4, there are 4 great prizes that you can donate to be in the drawing for, all of them a minimum of $5. The Zero Perler, the Rockman Acryl keychains, the Mega Man X Perler, and the Forever Lasting Peace 25 Years of Mega Man CD. 2 of those offered by Capcom and 2 by Aaron Burgess. So thank you for those generous prizes, and get in your $5 donations during this block, and you will be in the drawing for all 4 of those.
So basically what you just saw is the bosses have a shield. You had to deal enough damage to break the shield to be able to actually damage them, and then they reset back to the same exact state. We're never really going to see that again.
Yeah, it doesn't come up too much now. Just a couple of bosses will have it, but not for a while.
So this is where the routes diverge. X goes to Sunflower first to pick up a sub-tank, and also get the item from that stage so that it can get a armor part early. And Zero goes to Gigavolt, who is a fantastic stage.
Oh yeah, this is one of the parts that everyone criticizes about this game.
It's honestly not too bad once you get used to it, but
Yeah.
you have to learn it. With the X route, we're actually trying to hit a certain level of up and downs. As you saw in the background before we started, there was a little red dot in the middle. What he's actually trying to do is raise his level to gold for 5 or 6 so he can get the sub-tank chip, and then keep it in the middle so that he can waste less time on the elevator moving up and having a harder mid-boss.
Okay, so Cab and I both got pretty good times on the Man of War stage. It's all kind of difficult to do because the way your buster shots work in it. On boss fights, what we want to do is do 4 air slashes. And that will put the boss into invincibility frames. So we just want to do a whole bunch of sets of those for now.
Yeah, that's the main problem that we have to deal with is the boss invincibility frames. As you can tell, PND has moved to the upper route, and now the elevators switch every time he gets to them. He only wants to do 5 of those, because if he keeps it all upper route, he will actually get a different item than a sub-tank, and it's not something he needs at all. And he got bad luck on the little enemy spawns. Unfortunately, it can be very hard to keep on those gears when you get a odd spawn like that. Here's a good time to explain the retry chip system. Instead of lives, we get retry chips. Normal starts you with 2. Easy, I think, starts you with 5. And hard either gives you 1 or 0. You can buy more recharge chips, but you cannot collect lives as you would in the classic series. Just use recharge chips. Yeah, he's fallen too low. Now he won't be able to get 5 upper paths or 6 upper paths. But if he manages it right, he can just deal with it, take them down to middle path, and save a little bit of time in the elevators if he wants. And he's also doing an extra hard jump here, where he jumps, then dashes in the air and slashes to extend the jump. You got it. Normally, you're supposed to just cling to the ceiling and dash across.
All right, so Cab and I are going to Dark Mantis. We want one of the extra weapons that you can find in this stage. And we need weapons from Man-O-War to get it. Not only that, but in addition, we need Axel's copy ability as well. So, hey, Axel is actually useful for once.
Yes, if you're a fan of Axel, his first and last appearance is pretty much right now.
Shoot.
If they get cut by the spotlights, then the door closes for a little while, and they have to kill the guys that come out to progress. So they're gonna want to avoid that at all costs.
It lags really hard.
So this is the room he would be obtaining the sub-tank, but unfortunately he didn't hit it right, and there's a special mini-boss that shows up because we have save data from command missions. Cut man, making an appearance, and there he's gone. Just can't take the heat. Optic Sunflower is pretty tricky, fighting him just with X and 0 playing. It's probably the harder part of this route, but if you can get past the Optic Sunflower fight, it makes this route a lot more open and this game a lot easier for beginners to learn if they want to. The 0 routes are a little bit more difficult and I'd say advanced. They save technically a little bit more time, but we haven't gotten a full amount of testing on it, which is one of the reasons we're having separate routes on the race. I think we have a little bit of time for donations now.
Absolutely. All right, we've got $50 from Jason Duncan. Jump and shoot hype. I've also got $50 from Oyster. Of the 80 plus Mega Man games in existence, X8 is in my top 10. And of the 6 GDQs I've seen, this is the first time I've seen it race to the extreme of excitement. Thanks for making my wishes come true, SGDQ. I see what you did there. Put this towards Mega Man and Rockman and Forte because bass is easy mode. We've also got $15 from Conster. Conster here, best of luck to Satoryu, PND, and MrCab. Put this $15 to the runner's choice, and let's make 0 fly. $30 from Tasty Num Nums. Loved playing Mega Man X4 and X6 as a kid. Currently watching from work, and my responsibilities can be on hold. Make it quick and don't get me fired. Good luck to all the runners. Cheers. How about $100 from the Blue Magician? I had to donate during the Mega Man X block as it's my favorite series. Thanks to all the runners, announcers, tech wizards, donators, and viewers for making all the GDQs such a success for gaming and humanitarian efforts. Also, save the animals.
Okay, so PND is actually heading back to the intro stage. This is where the main time loss would come from, but we end up gaining that back in the boss rush, which is why it's kind of debatable which is faster. But the reason he's going there is for the neutral armor and the eye buster parts, which upgrade his buster to an unbelievable level. Instead of having to shoot lemons, he'll be able to shoot semi-charged shots. Instead of shooting fully charged shots, instead of shooting semi-charged shots, he shoots fully charged shots. And instead of shooting fully charged shots, he shoots a gigantic laser beam. which we do not want to use, unfortunately. It's only useful in a couple of situations because it just makes X stand still like a rock. But the neutral armor also helps give us a little bit of defense. But that's about it.
You'll see an interesting glitch in this Zero right at this point. There's a glitch to actually fly with Zero, where you hold the D-pad in one direction and the control stick in another direction, and you use that attack that you got from the boss, from the previous boss.
Yeah, that's why they did Mancus when they did, even though he's such an aggressive boss. It also has to do with the weapon they have now. The D-Glaive has a large reach and does a bit more damage. So the way they combo along with it, Zero becomes just a monster. But the X-Buster part that PND just got and the helmet that he's going to get in this next stage make him very competitive and make it very hard to tell the difference between the two. A lot of this route is around Vile. As you can see, MrCab has just finished off Vile. We're actually manipulating him so he shows up in certain mini-boss rooms to show up and save us a lot of time versus very slow mini-bosses that are either moving block puzzles or just surviving or killing a lot of enemies. And it can range anywhere from minutes, a minute and a half to 2-3 minutes. So it's very, very important, the boss order we use. I think we can do a couple of donations right now.
Yeah, I've got a $50 donation from Repo. Took the week off to watch the event, missing you in Denver, and have not been disappointed. Looking forward to an amazing Mega Man block. Same here. Also got $5 from Fade. Races are my most favorite parts of GDQ. Good luck to everyone. Big shouts to all the staff and the runners. Also, thank you to all the restreams. Allez la friends. $50 from TK Sunglasses. Every GDQ, we wage an epic battle over the fate of the animals. It seems like the animals are always on the brink of salvation, but there is apparently an unbeatable legion out there whose hatred for the animals knows no bounds, and whose wallets seem to be equally limitless. So to them I say, this donation goes to save the animals. Open up those infinite money wallets of yours and do your worst. You got it.
PND right now just got done with a mini boss. Zero on the jet ski is actually very dangerous to the mini bosses because his saber still does a lot of damage, but he's actually very hard to use because of the close range of it. So really what he's doing isn't so much trying to use one character or the other. He's trying to dash and then swap again and then dash because they have a dash meter that's kind of hidden to keep him going as fast as possible and killing a few enemies when it gets very laggy. But that saber, he actually needed to dash up into that mantis or manta ray that he beat as a mini boss and mash fairly hard to get a one cycle on him.
All right, in Bamboo Pandemonium, Cab and I are going to be approaching the beginning of this stage a little bit differently. Cab is flying over a lot of this first section of it, while I'm going to be using the right armor. We're not sure which is faster. I think it's mostly just for preference.
Right now, a lot of this game boils down to preference and what you think is kind of better. It's very important here, though, that PND keeps both Zero and X in these mini-boss fights in this whole section because he's going to need them to get to the head part that I was referring to in this stage, which is has a fantastic ability. But first, let's see if we can get past the Man of War, I guess. Stingray. Just took my brain a minute. There we go, he got him. As you can see from the zero routes, though, a lot of Rassetsen, or we basically just call it the flying move, is used a lot to just destroy enemies, get out of the way, and kind of just subtravert the map. PND here needed 0 for the double jump and this laser beam attack so he could melt the ice to get to X's capsule. He could have kind of abused X a little bit because each time you enter a capsule it refills your life, but he chose not to and used 0 more because he needed him for the mini bosses. Now X is a monster. His charge time is cut in half, so it's to the point where he can hold the button for like a fraction of a second and get a full charge. He has to be very careful actually not to charge long enough to get a full beam that I was talking about, the laser, which will waste a lot of time because it doesn't do much damage and it also freezes X in place.
Got a $100 donation from number 755. Donation get Mega Man hype. Go into the Shovel Knight run with purple armor.
So you'll see in the zero route that as Cap just defeated Bamboo Pandemonium, he's actually very powerful, but he projects all his attacks in advance. So as long as Satoryu doesn't get hit, he should be fine.
Yeah, he just used the flying move to actually manipulate him from using his strongest attack into just attacking right where he was floating. Even though he couldn't reach him, his programming is set up to swing at wherever he is, even though he was in the air.
Yeah, it's important to avoid that move specifically because that can take out more than half of a character's health bar. Pandemonium hits hard, but he's a big target, so it makes fighting him with the D-glaive a lot easier.
I've got a $100 donation from Mama Cab. Drive on, Mr. Cab. Always glad to watch you play and donate to Doctors Without Borders. Mama Cab.
This is one of the few problems that people have with the game, but I find it kind of more of an endearing thing. Burn Rooster's auto-scrolling section, you have to fall down, and then you have to climb back up, then you have to fall down again. There's kind of a theme with that in this game. Not being in total control, but the game itself is, every game is kind of flawed, but I find it very interesting to have it set up that way.
Yeah. As you can see what Cab's doing, he was able to use Rassetsen to fly into the left corner to basically skip all this platforming. I'm playing it out just because I'm used to it.
Got $50 here from Vereen. Hello from late in France. I have to work early tomorrow, but I couldn't miss Mega Man X8 finally played here. Go Satoryu. Please say that in the most badass French accent you can. Manage. I am baguette, baguette, baguette. Nailed it. Thanks for the awesomeness. I feel like such a badass there. So. I've also got $10 from Sethi. You want to save the animals? As Lieutenant Surge would say, aw, poor baby. Put this towards Pokemon Puzzle League. I've got a $50 opinion here from Ardell, who says X is better than 0. And also that Mega Man X has always been a great series to play with a lot of challenge and great speed.
This is one of the things with Burn Rooster. It has those falling sections and then rising sections, but then it has that nice area that's fairly difficult with all the spikes that will get a lot of beginners. It actually holds a section for an X part that increases movement speed, but it only increases walking speed, so it's fairly useless to the X for the speed run.
Yeah, Cab and I fought Vile in this stage. Vile always shows up after you defeated 2 Mavericks, and he can appear randomly in other stages otherwise, and that's pretty much just determined by your route order. It's much like the X Hunters in X2. So it's always better to fight Vile than the alternative, with the exception of Sunflower stage. But we weren't necessarily, when routing this, planning to fight him here. It's just a coincidence. The 2 stages that Vile saves the most time on are Antonian and Trilobite, because their alternatives take upwards of a minute each. Whereas a Vile fight takes, 20 seconds?
Yeah, just about. And now they're all on the same stage, but there's a little bit of a difference because of the route. So you still can't tell who's ahead and who's behind.
Don't die, okay.
Got a $10 donation from Max Eric 93. Third time watching and still loving it. First time donating. Awesome run of Metroid Prime 2. Keep up the good work. Love you all. Announcer included. I'm going to assume that was the last announcer. By the way, kill the animals.
So PND did just do a shopping trip. There's actually, like I was referring to earlier, the retry chips. You have to go to S&D, or the development section of the game, where you can pick up weapon power-ups, which increase like how big your boss energy bar is for their weapons, your life, several things in the game. You can, including creating things like the D-glaive for Zero, which is what makes his route possible. But a lot of them require you to have a white or special medal that requires you to do something special in the stage to make it appear. But he ended up buying a lot of safety items, like a small life filler and a full life for X.
And even though Burn Rooster is dead, the level is not over.
This is the only thing I disagree with, is the climb back out after the boss. Much like X3, even though you haven't beaten the boss, you don't get away with it so easy.
Yeah. Thankfully, Zero's double jump kind of makes this trivial.
PND is going with a much different strategy for the spiky section. He's taking a lot of damage boosts that he knows he will get, so that he doesn't get hit by any of the spikes, because they are, as usual, insta-kill.
Got a $20 donation here from Meaden. Massive shout-outs to the commentator with the midnight radio voice in the couch, and the refreshingly hyped-up donation announcer. I love it. Nice, we got it. Also $20 from Brian Jones. Had to donate during the Mega Man block, one of my all-time favorite series. I've been watching this event for a couple years now, and I'm glad to donate to such a hype event supporting a great cause. Shoutouts to all these skilled runners. Also, save the frames, kill the animals.
So now Cab and Satoryu are going on to Trilobite stage. There's supposed to be a very extensively long auto-scroller that is pretty much not fun.
Yeah, it's a big chase sequence where first this giant robot will be chasing you, and then you'll be chasing it back the way you came. But we can fly. We don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of areas you can just fly right over. They actually have to do a specific input on the door, though, with a specific attack or a triple slash with 0, or else the game will soft lock and load the robot into that room as the mini boss. And it just kind of goes, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, no more game for you.
They even have safety saves just in case that happens.
Because no matter how good you are at this game, the guy will pop up every once in a while just to ruin your day. In the X route, though, you can take that chase sequence and get the X body armor part, which is nice for beginners of the game to just kind of learn it and not have to worry very much about the damage of the later boss rushes and such. MrCab just did a door skip, which is one of many that we have with the flying glitch. It saves about 5 seconds each time we manage to pull it off. And there's some pretty interesting ones later on. One thing with Trilobite is we like to take the shell off of him immediately and destroy it. So we hit him with his weakness from a specific character, so it destroys his shell, and that way we can just continually deal damage instead of having him running around trying to grab his shell. I think we're good if we have any donations. You can read off a few.
How about $20 from Reflex X3? A big Mega Man hype from Jeff's chat. We love you all. Heart. How about $30 from Salanzi? Donated a second time just because my first donation was not read. Our bad. Love watching older videos on YouTube. Glad to be able to donate. Good luck to all the runners. Put this to announcer's choice. $100 from Seppi. Hey GDQ, this is a great cause and a great event. It's great to see how much it's grown over the years and how much it's benefiting great causes. Mega Man X has been my favorite series since I was a kid. X2 actually gave me comfort when my grandmother lost her battle with cancer. Keep up the great work, and y'all have a good one. P.S. Money goes to kill the animals. Speedrunning ain't about saving animals, it's about saving frames and lives.
There is something that I did neglect to mention, that we have this nice boss named the Yeti. And there is this one website that supplies some nice t-shirts from the Yeti. Might as well give them a little prod while we're at it.
Especially during this bike sequence.
Nice long bike sequence.
Gives you a nice good 4 minutes to go out buy a shirt.
Yes, absolutely agree with them. All of you make sure that throughout this marathon you check out the yeti.com/SGDQ, which you can also find from the Games Done Quick website. They've got 8 amazing shirts. They've always done an amazing job with t-shirt designs. And $3 actually from every shirt sold will go directly to Doctors Without Borders. And as you can see from their, I think it was $10,000 donation earlier, they are quite generous. So make sure to go check them out, give them some support, and get some really, really cool t-shirts out of the process.
This is kind of the middle point now. We have them meeting and doing the same levels, so there's not much to cover other than just kind of trivial information, like the air vents that PND just went through are always set up for you to be able to just dash straight through them. So it's never really a problem, or you have to worry about that. Or that there's an extra headpiece in Dark Manus' stage, but it's much more, it's terrible compared to the one he has right now.
You also see during some sequences they want to switch between 0 and X when they dash on the bike, because what happens is there's a cooldown on it, on the dash, so they immediately switch, and then they just get almost like a free cooldown to dash again. But on some parts you won't use it, like this mini boss, for example.
Another quick reminder that, as you guys can probably tell, we are into our Mega Man X block of the marathon, and for the duration of these 4 runs, Mega Man X8, X2, X3, and X4, if you donate a minimum of $5, you're entered into a drawing for 4 great prizes. The Zero Perler and the Mega Man X Perler, both donated by Aaron Burgess. Thank you very much, Aaron. And 2 other prizes donated by Capcom themselves, the Rockman Acryl keychains and the Forever Lasting Peace 25 Years of Mega Man CD. So 4 great prizes there, so just a little incentive for you guys to, over the next few hours, get your donations in.
I guess we can have a little bit of shout-outs here. The runner that actually kind of invented the babies of all of these 2 routes is QTT6, and kind of started the routes off, and the runners took them from there and made them their own. But if it wasn't for that, there really would not be a chance for this race to happen, because there had not been much work done on any percent normal at all up to that point.
Yeah, he's the one that figured a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah, it's QTT6.com. It's twitch.tv. But he's a fantastic runner and loves to interact with his chat. But he did a lot of work on this and made sure that we had a route to work with. It wasn't specifically for this event. He did it for a few X relays, but it spawned this, so we have to give him a shout out. Can't help but do it.
He's prominent in all the X games, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's run all of them, 1 through 8, and I'm sure if you show up in his chat and ask, he will be more than happy to play almost anything. Oh yeah, he doesn't play the unmentionable game, the one between 6 and 8. All right, sick. But he's very prominent in the other ones. He plays a lot of games. He even does Maverick Hunter. He's done Maverick Hunter X, which has been very barely touched. So if you like that game at all, you can always ask for that too.
I've also got $15 from Enrico, let's see here, Titse. More Chrono Trigger? Sign me up. Really hope we get enough donations to see that sweet 100% run. You got it. $50 donated anonymously. Thanks for the entertainment. My sleep schedule is completely ruined, but worth it.
So I'm pretty sure Satoryu just got a Yeti dive, which you don't want to see, because it takes so long for him to resurface and give you a Shoryuken, quite literally a Shoryuken.
Mm-hmm.
Also got $50 from Polar Bear. It's with an O. I'm going to say Polar. It's always great coming home to see SGDQ. Hope everyone has fun. Yep. $50 from Lionfish. Awesome job, guys. I've been watching for 3 years now, but this is the first live stream. Good luck to all the speedrunners. Thank you very much, Lionfish. $5 from Matt Philly. Hey guys, been watching since last year when I got into speedruns, and I'm so excited on the Mega Man speedrun. Wish I could donate more, but hope to donate again for the next Mega Man block.
And we're starting to get towards the end since we have that final crossover of them doing Optic Sunflower and PND moving on to the last Maverick.
Got $50 from Ben M. Keep up the good work, everyone. This event is one of my favorites to watch, and I love the fact that gamers can get together to do good. My donation is going towards Dark Souls 2, 2 players, 1 controller. Can it be done?
Oh, excuse me, 2 Mavs. But also, one other thing I neglected to mention, you've probably noticed by now, the score at the end of each stage is meaningless. Completely meaningless. The only thing that matters is getting the 2 X parts in the X route and getting the rare medal for the D glaive and the 0 route. Everything else, we don't care what it says or when it says it. PND is coming up to the major skip right now. Let's see if he gets it. And he got it. He was able to use the third. You get to see right there for a few seconds the robot kind of spawning into the room just to scare you. Like, oh no, did I miss it? But he actually gets to do it with the lightning stab move 0 has, which is the one that has the most room for you to be able to do it.
Got $50 donated anonymously. My sister-in-law works for Doctors Without Borders. She was in Gaza during the war in summer last year. Such a worthwhile organization. P.S. Save the animals. $50 from Yaroka. Been watching GDQ marathons for several years now. In fact, it was thanks to Satoryu, Rom Scout, and everyone else that I picked up X7.
The unmentionable.
I'm sorry?
Wanted to see what the fuss was all about.
Thank you.
Ellipses. I'm still on Team Satoryu despite that, which says a lot about my respect for his skills. Well, thank you, Yaroka. Got $50 from Trey Von Noy. Been waiting all week for the Mega Man block. Glad to see X8 get some love. Can't wait to see all the Rasetsusen shenanigans. Thanks to all the runners for all the work they put in. And thank you, Trey.
The room Cab just went through in Optic Sunflower is probably one of the more dangerous rooms. It definitely scares beginners a lot because of all the spikes and the weird way you have to dash over them. This game challenges kind of your thought pattern of how to get around spikes in several places. Cab is just destroy Cutman. Never stood a chance. Poor little guy.
We got $25 from Neon Alpha. Mega Man hype? Good luck on the runs. Shouts to Spike Vegeta, loved your Rayman run and looking forward to more Donkey Kong runs. Spike Vegeta can choose which incentive this goes towards. Everyone should just work to get that Shovel Knight low percent in there. That's what I think. It's in there. All right, good job, everyone. Well, there are other things. How about $20 from Lord Lovius? Had to donate in the Mega Man block for one of my favorite and one of my first game series. Donation goes to Julius for Dawn of Sorrow. Sorry, Soma, but Castlevania equals Belmont. Oh, I read that wrong. $5 from Zen Show. Mega Man X and Spike Vegeta as announcer. Can't get any better than that at 2 a.m. Oh, I am sorry for that time slot. Greetings from Germany and good luck to the runners and racers.
All right, so Sunflower has 4 configurations of the room he'll make. It's possible to skip the third one. I missed it. You basically have to deal enough damage on the second configuration in order to skip the third. And there's a lot of RNG involved too.
Cab's now making his trip to the R&D room and powering up Zero instead of X because that's what he needs, but he's also putting a little bit into X just as a backup so he can abuse him when needed.
X is going to be the trump card in this.
Yeah, if things go wrong, you can recover with X, but there's some places that both dev room visits. Now we are on the Jacob Tower.
It's some nice music. I'll be there in a second.
It's definitely the point where I'm going to shut up because this music is fantastic. There's only one other track I think that's even better. We have to wait, though, until Satoryu manages to hit it up. Cutscenes, so many cutscenes. But Jacob's Tower is connected to the moon, so...
The stage itself is nothing special. It's another auto-scroller. It's because it's an elevator. Basically, you just want to kill everything as soon as it spawns.
Yeah.
Which with Zero and the D-Glaive is pretty easy.
X has to do a little bit more work since he has to work both sides with buster shots, but it's not too bad.
The only real way to speed it up is when the elevator stops, and these Reploids will come out.
The doors. The Reploids will come out, and you kill the last one. You make sure they're gone as fast as possible so that it will start moving again.
Especially the shield dudes.
Yeah, if they plant the shield, there's only a specific move that will actually bust the shield back so you can deal damage to them. It's a pain.
Got $25 from AC Shredder. Don't let your dreams be memes. Kill the animals. $50 donated anonymously. First time donating, love what you guys do. Dark Souls is one of my favorite series, so I hope to see that 2 players, 1 controller. Keep up the good work, guys. Game on. $50 from number 2648. People are always talking about saving the frames or the animals, but nobody ever thinks about how much work Samus puts in. I say we let her have a snack and grill the animals. And $50 from Brian Nurnberger. Mega Man X Block hype. First time watching any of these events live and just had to donate. Best SGDQ so far. Gotta go fast.
And there we have PND having to execute the move to break the shields, because unfortunately you let him place them down. But can't say you didn't get to see everything in this game. And Zero's people need him. MrCab has shown us that we can go as far as we want with a Rosetsen glitch and just fly off straight to the moon and never come back. Or come back, whichever. This is MrCab's up to Vile's Desperation attack. At this point, it's just easier to spin off screen with 0 than bother to dodge the lightning bolts. So we just go back to trying to get to the moon, and then remember we're fighting Vile after a little bit and drop back down, finish him off. Funny footnote with this game, they just decided to make this Vile Mark 8 instead of...
5. It's 5.
It's 5. Yeah, they skipped a few, just kind of bumped them up random number. But still doesn't seem to stand a chance despite how many copies or times he faces us.
I've got $30 from Kasumi Blue. Mega Man X8. This is the game everyone forgot exists because they gave up after that game. I'm so glad to see this game getting speedrun at SGDQ. This is such a solid, underappreciated game. Good luck, runners. P.S. X is better than 0. Donation goes to Spike Vegeta's Choice. Thank you, Kasumi.
Straight to the moon. But we've reached the boss rush portion of the game, so now both Satoryu and MrCab are hammering out the boss rush, doing their best to just abuse the D-glaive as much as humanly possible by double hitting bosses.
I believe Cab and I are taking different orders of bosses, and it doesn't really matter much. Again, it's just preference.
Got $50 from Lithrine. Love both events each year. Makes me want to practice my own speedruns. Do it. Keep up the killer work. Core hype. Oh, and save the animals. $50 from Stuhlen, sure. Also known as Adam Allison. First time watching live and loving every minute of it. Keep up the great runs. Also, save the animals. What did they ever do to you?
So we finally have I guess if you want to be like that canonical reason why you refight the bosses, they actually turn out to be copy Reploids of the bosses, which Axel, the character we used for about 5 seconds, that is his special ability and supposed to be the thing that makes him different than everybody else. He's just a prototype Reploid that can copy other Reploids. But the story of the game is kind of them going after that technology. And apparently they got some of it because they had enough to make all the Mavericks again and about 1,000 vials.
Got $10 from ZX Ryu, and I think I recognize this guy. Hello again, SGDQ. Second donation of the marathon. Had to donate some money during the Mega Man X block, since they are some of my favorite games of all time. Shoutouts to the Gray Dragon for getting me into the series all those years ago. SNES hype. Money goes towards saving the animals. Spike Vegeta is so rad. Keep up the radness. Thank you for your 1992 terms.
So PND has shown to be a little bit behind up till now. He should be able to make up some time in the boss rush, but by the time they're leaving, we'll be able to see how far behind he is. So it's really the decider is the end of the boss rush, not the beginning.
And I want to remind you guys, this is simply the first of a 4-game block of the Mega Man X block. After this, we've got a 4-way race of Mega Man X2, followed by the low percent run, we'll call it, for Mega Man X3, done by Crack Attack right there on the couch. Yep, give him a thumbs up. There we go. Yep. Wave to the crowd. There we go. There we go. Yep, we found you. All right. And Mega Man X4 by Mopey Joe. We'll get the X 100% run. So lots of awesome Mega Man going on tonight, and another Mega Man block later in the week. So make sure you guys stick around, because that's only a small part of all the runs we got still going for you. And on top of that, I've got a $50 donation from Joneson. Had to donate during the Mega Man block. It has always been a great series and will always be kept playing. We'll donate again later this week. Can't get enough of GDQ. Keep it up, you guys. You too, Spike. Thank you, Joneson.
You might have noticed with MrCab's run that whenever he was hitting a Gigabolt with the saber, he was wigging out and just kind of flailing all over the place. At this point now, you've received the boss weapon that makes him just automatically go into invincibility frames, like the older games did if you had their weakness. So unless you do some funky stuff with using the spin move and then attacking him with a regular slash, you can't really get any more damage in. But it doesn't seem to be, can be appreciable if you do it properly.
Got $50 from Chris B213. Hello, SGDQ. I am so excited to catch my GDQ live. I'm assuming that means first GDQ live. It never ceases to amaze me what speedrunners can do. Here is $50 to saving the frames and killing the animals. Good luck with the rest of the runs.
Good luck. Got this one.
And $20 from Thiago M. Hey, just had to donate to hear more of that sweet, sweet voice coming from the couch. Thanks. You really do have a good midnight. I'm just saying, yeah, go for it.
That was the laser beam that I was referring to. He was actually just trying to jump up and abuse the fully charged, quote unquote, Buster's actually hitbox. It's fairly wide, so he can be pretty low and still hit the boss with it. But unfortunately, he held the charge for just a split second too long and ended up throwing the beam, which has nowhere near as wide a hitbox or does nearly as much damage.
$50 from Gandalf. Thanks for doing this event, guys. Thank you, Gandalf. I didn't know you watched our show. Okay, I've got $30 from F-Strike. Mega Man Block hype. Good luck to all the runners, and I leave this up to runner's choice. However you would like to split that. I'll do it. How about $50 from, here's a name, Gary Jones Spin Kick Theater. All right, got a creative mother. All right, just got myself some SGDQ t-shirts from the Yeti. Really nice stuff for this year. I love seeing the gaming community doing something positive. I look forward to seeing it grow. Also, save those lovely animals. $50 donated anonymously. Thanks for the runs. This is the first GDQ I've seen live, and it's lived up to the hype. Great cause and great event. Here's to hoping I get to see 2 people beat Dark Souls on 1 controller.
So MrCab has finally reached the end of the boss rush. There's a small skip where we can float over the door and avoid having to open it. But it causes this next section to have explosions in it as well, which is just makes it twice as cool. But we finally get to see our final boss. What a surprise, Sigma. But something feels off.
Yeah, I did the skip anyway, just to show it off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Why are we fighting Sigma at the end of the boss rush? Isn't he usually in a different stage?
Yeah, it seems kind of early. Huh.
Well, whatever. Here's our last medal. Game over, right? Mission ranking. This is weird. Nope, they fooled you.
Yep.
It's not the last level. It's only the last level if you decided to play on the easy mode. There's actually one more last level called Sigma Palace. I lovingly refer to it as Spike Palace because, well, you'll see shortly.
Nice explosion there. That's kind of a side effect of that flying Resetsen glitch I did to pass that boss door. There were like extra explosions going on. A fun fact, if you do that glitch and Avalanche Yeti was the last boss you fight, your footsteps would permanently have snowy sound effects to them. Try it at home.
So even though we just got done beating on Vile, he's shown up again with a ride armor this time. There's more copies of him than any other boss I've ever seen. It's Vile 1000, plus is a ride suit. I guess he figured if he went back to X1 style and came at us with a ride armor, he'd be fine. And now we're seeing copy robots copying Sigma. This is getting really weird, but okay. Acceptable. Really, killing enemies in this area isn't necessary. It does get a little laggy, but you end up flying around a lot. X gets some pretty decent time in here because he doesn't have to bother with the Sigmas at all. He just moves. Here's a door. Maybe the last Sigma's behind this one. And here we get Big Sig, or whatever Sigma you want to refer to him as. Just a giant wall of Sigma. Nice big life bar. One of the things you will notice with this fight, though, Cab does it mainly with Zero and the Deglaive. Satoryu does not. He uses X and the Sunburst, which tends to do a lot of damage and have lower iframe rate, so he can hit him sooner.
Yeah, typically you don't want to use boss weaknesses, but this Sigma form is kind of the exception.
Oh, there we go. We have Final Sigma's dead. Is that the last boss? I hope it is this time. I'm getting sick of surprises. Not Sigma? Okay. Not Sigma is the final boss. So this guy is Lumine. He has decided he's going to copy all the boss's weapons and confront you directly. He's pretty dangerous. Not too dangerous when he's doing certain attacks, but other ones can be very threatening. But he will go in an order of which boss weapons he absorbs. And uses against you.
Come on. Let's switch. Come on. It's me.
They're trying to finish the Lumine fight right before he gets, while he's in the Graviantonian phase, which is kind of hard to tell unless you know the game. Cap had to use his backup sub-tank, but he should be fine since he still has half left. And that's one more form. I wonder if he has a surprise form like Sigma always does. Okay, there is one more form. This is the last one, actually. Whether you're playing on hard or not, this is the final form. We try and do a couple of phase skips on him to avoid the really annoying attacks, but it's pretty much just beat him as hard as you can, as fast as possible. There's not much to it. It only gets really dangerous once he gets into the rage phase that a lot of the bosses get into, which I'll explain once we get there. It's called Paradise Lost, or would be called Paradise Lost. Shoot.
Okay, I got it. Good.
And Satoryu got one of the phase skips.
I got both so far. There's gonna be one more.
Yeah, he can shoot these items both vertically and horizontally, as well as the lasers in a variable of different ways. And Cab is on the last form. Now he just has to break open the shell and hit him enough times to kill him. If he does not do it fast enough, he will die instantly. And time is right after he finishes this attack. So
Time on
that is
me
time
as well.
for Cab.
Almost. Time. No, time now.
Now
One
Satoriu's got
second,
time.
yeah. Wow, that was close. Good job, man.
And as I said before, the X route really isn't that slow. As you can tell, PND is pretty close with a route that is supposedly much slower, but it hasn't had a lot of testing. So we'll be seeing his Paradise Lost very soon.
Yeah, PND has put in a lot of work on this route. The gap used to be much larger, but now we're all about 2 minutes behind, 2 minutes between each other.
There was a time where he would be a full stage behind at this point, and now he's only the final phase at this point.
The 105 for game time, nice.
2 105s, those are fantastically low game times.
Yeah, the first 105 I only just got in practice today. So now we both have one.
Yeah, and MrCab PB'd, so that's fantastic.
Not done yet.
You got the third phase skip.
There we go. Now he's in the final phase.
X has an easier time on Paradise Lost. Normally Zero will have to wait for Luminate to put his wings back up again.
And he can just
But
use
it's
the beam
possible
laser.
for X to just buster him to death before it happens. Time.
Time. But that's the one time the laser is used. It must be a PB, yeah. Let's see which. PND's in-game time is.
Might be 106.
Yeah, it probably is a 106, which means this is a lot closer of a race than we initially thought we would have. And it's trying to explain story that we skipped and just completely ignored, as
Story
usual.
that they haven't followed up on yet. Hint, hint.
Yeah, I'd love to see more X. And we have
Still 108. Okay.
Brutal.
Still very good, though.
Nicely done.
This game is brutal, especially on PS2. The load times will take a toll on you. You can save some time using PC, but if you have either version, it's worth playing. All right,
So that's X8.
that's X8, guys. Next up is X2.
Good game, good game, good game, good game, good game.
Well, great way to start off the Mega Man X block for the night. We got 2 PBs in there, a 6-second differential in first and second place. Amazing job by all the runners. Great job for the commentary couch. Real quick.